When you know better, you invest better. Join us and experience the difference today. TFNN, educating investors.
The following is a presentation of TFNN. Trade what you see with Larry Pesavento. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648 or internationally at 727-873-7618. Now, Larry Pesavento.
Okay, looking good, Billy Ray. Feeling good, Lewis. I just wanted to start the day talking about numbers. This is a spiral mirabilis, also known as the chambered nautilus. It shows how the Fibonacci relationships move, like the seashell itself. And the reason why this is important is back in 1996, Mark Douglas and Paula decided to move from Chicago here to Tucson because Mark was writing the book, Trading in the Zone, and he was getting more into trading. He traded basically bonds, and he wanted to share an office with me, and I certainly couldn't refuse that. And so we started to work together and work on these numbers and stuff. But numbers are important to everything that we do, folks, because they help us to determine how much risk we're going to take on a trade. That's why it's so very important. I met a gentleman, you met him about a week or so ago, Noor Bashar, on his book, Quran, Plato and the Quran. I'm going to be talking about him in just a little bit because he studied numbers beyond what the normal person has done by square 10. He really has a tremendous library of how these numbers work. But let me show you why these numbers are so important. One of the things that Mark always worked with me on was, putting stops in, things like that. This is a chart of July copper, folks. This, as you can see, the date there was the 29th, all right? You all know what that was. That was Monday. Now, you notice here there was a big ABCD on the dailies that measured up here to 469. And I sold it just a little bit below the high, and I put my stop, as you can see right there. Now, look at this, folks. This took 1 hour. And in that 1 hour period, it could not go one tick higher to take me out, because I had my stop placed at the right spot. It's way below the price. I mean, it's trading at 455 right now, down 18 handles from the high that it made. So the reason why I tell you this is when you put your stop in and you get stopped out, it's got to be for a reason, especially if you're working with 1.618. That's why numbers are so important. So let's get into the nitty-gritty of this, and hopefully we'll be able to see what's going on here. 1 second, and we will get this ready to go. I've got it here. So, the most important one of all, when we talk about Noor Bashar, this is a chart that he gave me on February the 12th. As you can see here, I posted it in the room on February the 12th. You'll notice here the target for the high was March 2024. This is going back, folks, to the 1970s. Okay, and he said the high was going to be in March. He was wrong. It was March 21st, the equinox. I mean, this is an amazing thing. So you got to, the studies that he's done, it comes to how he works with these numbers and these patterns that we deal with. And that's why it's so very important. His book is a real classic. I highly recommend that you get it, because it's the basis of all the where it all comes from. Back in the days of the Sumerians and Babylonians and all that stuff. I mean, that's where it really comes to, and that's why I think it's so very, very important. Now all I have to do is to find. Oh no, I lost it again. I'm not. Folks, here's what I want to do. I want to show you. Oh dear, Oh, my friend, I know you're probably saying, how can you be such a twit? Let me just get together here to show you why these numbers are so very important. His book is got so much of the real basis of all these things and how they come together. But I want to go through this PowerPoint for you just to show you some of the things that I can't do them all, of course, but what we're going to do here is we're going to go take the slideshow from the beginning, and this is where the whole 600 BC's Pythagoras, you can see he has a pyramid in his left hand. He's pointing to a pyramid on the thing. There's a proportional divider. There's Safariel's Tree of Life, the musical scale, and this up here is what's so very, very important. This was hand painted. It's a life size. I mean, the thing is about 6 feet by 4 feet. Now, about 7 feet by 4 feet. It's in the Manly Hall Institute there in California, and it really is important. This was Pythagoras. He was so important that the things he knew. Look at this, folks. He knew the Earth was round. Okay, 600 BC, 1,500 years before anybody figured it out. Well, 1,000 years anyway. You can see that's the type of stuff. He's the first man to use the square roots of numbers. And my famous quote about Plato or about Pythagoras was from Albert Einstein. He said, "There was God and there is man." And he said, in between was Pythagoras. And then they asked him, who are the other 5 most smartest men in the world? And he said, I think he said Galileo, Thomas Edison, a couple others, I can't remember. And of course, he said himself. Anyway, this is what was on top of his head, you see, of what he was looking at. Because if you take an iteration like this with a pyramid and draw these lines, once you go through this is what it'll look like at the end of the drawing. It's called the chaos game. And it's also known as the Sierpinski triangle, but that's neither here nor there. Here's where numbers originate, boys and girls. Every number is an angle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 angles, 7 angles, 8 angles, 9 angles, and 0. All of them how it started. This comes from, I believe the gentleman's name was Al-Jazeer back in 1120 AD when we moved from Arabic numbers to arithmetic numbers. Okay, this is the universe. I'm not going to spend any time with the stuff that this is the Fibonacci spiral, and this is why 1.618 is so important, because once you get beyond that, you don't know where you're going. This is how you take the square roots of the spiral that Pythagoras worked on. This is how the universe looks from space, and you can see the spiral of the universe and how all the planets line up. It's all related to the numbers that we look at. This is the number sequences of all the different planets. And if you go through and look at these like Noor Bassar did, you'll see that all these are interrelated by the numbers of sacred geometry, of which the Fibonacci numbers are so very, very important. This is one of my favorites. This is the Venus-Mercury cycle. Look at the Fibonacci cycle here, folks. You see, if you take these numbers, 1, 2, 3, 5, 8, 13, 21, 34, 55, 89, if you take any 2 numbers in random, pick your wife's birthday or your friend's birthday and your birthday and add them together, okay? And by the time you get to the 8th integer, it's going to be 0.06176, and then it's going to get to right here, and that is where you go 6182. It goes higher or lower to infinity. It doesn't change from 0.618. That's why these numbers that we deal with when we're trading are so doggone very important. Now, this is the book from Andrew Lowe. It was an article that was written in Business Week on April 17th. J.P. Morgan's birthday and Arch Crawford's birthday of 2000, and he talked about how the markets have these certain things that make them predictable within limits because they repeat over and over again. So let's take a break here. We'll come back and we're going to do some more when we get back to the next part of this. Hold on, let me get to this end of the show. We'll be right back, so stay with us.
Steve Rhodes started his trading career as a student almost 20 years ago, and the student has now become the master. Steve won the prestigious Timer of the Year award in 2018 and barely missed that mark again in 2019, finishing at number 2 for the year. An amazing accomplishment. Steve Rhodes is committed to sharing his techniques and knowledge with anyone who wants to learn, and he shares his vast amount of trading knowledge every day in his Mastering Probability newsletter. Steve's award-winning newsletter, Mastering Probability, is delivered every trading day with updates throughout the afternoon. Sign up for Steve's market newsletter, Mastering Probability, and you'll receive access to 7 of Steve's educational webinars absolutely free. At TFNN, all our newsletters come with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have absolutely nothing to worry about. Visit TFNN.com and try Mastering Probability 30 days risk-free today. TFNN, educating investors.
The stock market is a delicate, interconnecting web of commodities, equities, and trader psychology. When one string of the web is pulled, it has a ripple effect across the broader market. This is where opportunity lies. But how are you to gather all of this information into one cohesive model when you're already spending your energy looking for any possible trade opportunities? Luckily, you don't have to worry about that, as Tom O'Brien has brought all important market news to you in one single newsletter, Market Insights. Market Insights provides a daily overview of what's happening in the indexes, bonds, gold, and more. Follow along with Tom daily as he analyzes the components that affect the overall movement of the stock market, giving insight into how each one plays either a bullish or bearish role. Tom also analyzes specific equities that he believes has the potential to make huge returns, and his track record proves his analysis right. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So what are you waiting for? Don't let the market leave you in the dust.
Sharpening your skills as an investor is like getting better at playing a musical instrument. You have to practice, sure, but you also need excellent instruction from experts. At TFNN, you'll get advice and guidance from the authority in technical market analysis. And it's not just dry, tedious text either. TFNN airs live financial content streamed live on TFNN.com and TFNN's YouTube channel with Tiger TV, live every market day from 8:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern, for free. Each host is an experienced trader and gives their take on the market while taking calls and questions live from around the world. From the moment the market opens until the closing bell sounds, Tiger TV has 8 different shows with expert hosts to help you make the right moves with your money. Watch online at TFNN.com or on TFNN's YouTube channel and become the investor you were born to be. TFNN, educating investors.
Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-873-7618.
Okay, back folks, and this is a geometric characteristic of price chart that I got from Bryce Gilmore. Basically, he takes a square, and inside the square are the 2 triangles. You show the hypotenuse of the triangles. They're all related to the Fibonacci numbers, 127, 127, 1618, square root of 2, which is 1.414. It also contains the pyramid, like it was on top of Pythagoras' head. Inside that, there's also a circle, and then you see the squaring of the circle, and this is where you get to, when you're looking at a price chart, you're looking at the AB type patterns. Now, this is from the Torque Analysis book by William Garrett. Basically, this shows how you take a square to a circle to an ellipse, and as it expands, it goes 618, 1.618, 2.618, and out to pi. That's how you figure out the circumference of a circle using patterns. Now, I use basically 618, 786, 1.27, 1.618. Remember now, if you take 1.618, take the square root of that, 127, take the square root of 786, it's 0.414, 0.382, and if you take the square root of this one is the square root of 2. If you take the square root of 0.618, it's 0.382. Okay, this is Da Vinci. He wrote his book. They called it the Codex book. This was his picture of man, and you can see he's written in Italian backwards. Da Vinci wrote left-handed and right-handed equally. He could do both, and he could do it backwards. And so he did the whole thing backwards. He was showing the ratios and proportions of the human body on this diagram. And as you can see, everything comes out to 0.618. From the top of your head to your pubic crest, 0.618, your ulnar radius, tibia, fibia, all of these are related to these relationships. Now remember, he lived in the 15th century, okay? If we go back about 2500 BC, you had the Egyptians doing the same thing. You can see how they talked about this spire. This is from this diagram, folks, is from an Egyptian pyramid. Now, this isn't because people wrote this in, but this is exactly how they do their measurements, showing the relationships of the body and how it all comes out to this number. This is how the DNA molecule lies up, folks. This DNA molecule is the main reason why there's never been a murder conviction in the state of Alaska. That's because they all have the same DNA. I try to pick a different state all the time, but it makes no difference. This is the euro over a 10-day period. It looks like an EKG of a cat ready to take his last breath. But if you overlay the numbers and the ratios, you see all the patterns unfold as they go through looking at these each day. Now, as you go see, how does that help? Because what happened yesterday tells you what happens tomorrow. See, what happened yesterday tells you what's happened tomorrow. That leads to A, B, C, D, and that's what it's all about. For me, you never see any oscillators or anything like that for me, because that's pretty much what. And why is the secret to trading right here? Can you believe this, folks? This is how you determine whether you can trade or not. Nowhere on this machine does it tell you, I've taken in $1.2 million more than I've given out. Nowhere on that machine does it say you have no chance of beating me long term. But it does have flashing lights that say, look, you put in your 3 quarters and you could win 4,000 quarters. But it doesn't tell you how much you're going to get and how long it's going to take to get those 4,000 quarters. So you have to learn to be this slot machine and learn how to quantify risk, because he knows how to quantify your risk. He knows he's going to get 4,000 coins eventually, but he's going to take 16,000 coins in before he starts to pay off. So that's the whole key. Keep your losses small, keep your trades to yourself, and you're going to be far better off. I'm not going to go into the ABCD pattern. This is from Gartley's book. This is the uptrend. This is the downtrend, and that's going to be the end of the program here today. If you, this is one of my favorite. I have 5 or 6 of these different things, but I just want to get this back on to see where we are here. Let's get up here and see where we are with these markets, because we just went down and made we came really close to making a new low. We got down to this level right here last night. We've got the Fed out here today, so that's going to be an interesting one to pay very, very close attention to right here. Since we're talking about the markets here, we'll just take a quick look. Here we had a 50% retracement here. Looked like it was going to hold to 382. The difference here was only about 15 pips. So if you'd have sold it here, you now have a profit in it. The one that is always really exciting, of course, is the E-mini S&P. Of course, we got the Fed chairman coming out here in just a second, and we'll get this up here. You'll be able to see it here. There's where we are, and there's the high from the other day when we were trading at 3,800. We dropped 800 points, and there's your 382 retracement coming in right here at 38145. If it's going to, of course, we got the Fed chairman coming in. You could probably go up and make new highs, given the fact that that's the way things go in these markets today. He makes his commitments to try to help folks, and he certainly does do that. Let's take a quick look, since we were talking about the copper just a little while ago. This is the copper from just a few days ago. I'll draw this up a little bit. There was the number. I mean, this was just showing a picture of it at the very end. I'll show you the daily chart. That's what I was watching, and you'll be able to see it without too much trouble. There it is right there. There was a number that I was looking at. And as you can see, we got to there. There's the ABCD. And if you went down to the smaller time frame, which was, let's just do it hourly, you can see here, there's where my stop was, right in here, and they didn't get it. And of course, it stopped right at the 618 retracement today. So there it is, working with numbers again. Take your 61% retracement from way back over here. You'll see it held pretty much right on what we're watching here today. Okay, so those are some of the things that we're watching here closely today. Okay, so those are basically the ones that we want to be seeing. Okay, all right, I think we've got another minute or two to go. We got to take a look at Apple. Everybody, John will be our guest here. John Person, he'll be our guest here at the break. And here is Apple. Get the daily chart on this little puppy so we can see what's happening with it. I think it had good news or something today, or whatever it did. Anyway, this is the number that we hit yesterday was right here, was 2 days ago, was right at the 382 of this number right back here. So it's still in a bearish mode. It's down today, but it's rallied back a little bit, which is good. And of course, the market was hit pretty hard yesterday, and whether it hits hard again the rest of the day certainly remains to be seen. But that's what's happening with Apple. And of course, everybody asks, well, not everybody, 3 or 4 people ask about Tesla every day. So I guess I should put this up here. And Tesla is right here. And I think it had a big gap up, and then we had, well, it's backed off a little bit from the gap up. Let's see where that rally took us to on, let's just move it over a little bit. All right, let's clean this out. Hopefully we can do it real quick. Get rid of all this stuff here and see if this rally was from the high back here to this low. Yesterday's rally was right at the 382 at 192, and the high was 198. So let's take a little break, and we'll have John Person on the tube, and have some fun.
The Gold Report. As a precious metal, gold is still king. It continues to hold the most effective safe haven and hedging properties across the global major trading hubs of the London OTC market, the U.S. futures market, and the Shanghai Gold Exchange. The Gold Report. Tom O'Brien publishes his weekly gold report every Monday morning for subscribers, consisting of coverage of the XAU, HUI, GDX, the dollar, bonds, the South African rand, as well as 25 different mining equities with specific buy-sell recommendations. The Gold Report. New subscribers get a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to risk. Subscribe to Tom O'Brien's Gold Report newsletter now at TFNN.com.
If you spend any time online researching trading techniques on how to begin your trading journey, you've no doubt come across many folks who push Forex trading as a way to make big money quickly. Unfortunately, there are equally as many stories of these so-called Forex professionals just looking to make a quick buck off aspiring traders without actually teaching the ins and outs of the Forex market. This is what sets Teddy Keckstack's The Tiger Forex Report off the riffraff. Every Monday, former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member and author Teddy Keckstack releases his Tiger Forex Report newsletter, where he dives into the complex world of Forex and takes time to actually teach you his methods that have made him so successful in the fast-paced and rewarding world of Forex trading. Furthermore, all subscribers receive access to archived live streams of Teddy's, where he provides university-level education to help you in Forex trading. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So what are you waiting for? Forex awaits.
In the world of trading, only a few names stand out like Larry Pesavento. A pro's pro with over 50 years of experience, Larry has seen it all. A former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member, Larry has authored 10 books and trained over 1,000 traders with his unmatched expertise. Introducing Fibonacci 24/7, Larry Pesavento's daily trading service that turns the complexity of markets into opportunities. Published every Sunday, receive a comprehensive report packed with detailed commentary, charts, and videos that illuminate the patterns shaping the markets, with updates throughout the week exclusively for subscribers. Whether through charts or videos, Larry's analysis is your roadmap to navigating the markets. You can sign up now at TFNN.com for just $97. And with all TFNN newsletters backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee, you have nothing to risk. For all the details, visit TFNN.com. You'll find Fibonacci 24/7 right under the newsletters tab.
This portion of Trade What You See is brought to you by Direxion's daily leveraged and inverse ETFs. Whether you're a bull or a bear, you choose the direction. Visit Direxion.com. Investing in the funds involves significant risk and should only be utilized by investors who understand the impact of leverage and actively monitor their portfolio. They are not designed to track the underlying index or security for more than a day. Before investing, carefully consider a fund's investment objective, risk, charges, and expenses contained in the prospectus available at Direxion.com. Read carefully. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
Okay, we're back, folks, and I believe we have John Person on the line today. John, how are you doing?
Oh, we're doing wonderful, Larry. How are you doing? Great to be on the show with you.
You bet, pal. Do you realize it's been 41 years since we first met back in 1982?
Well, I was 4 years old, so I don't remember that, Larry.
Yeah, I remember that. Well, I used to, take you for a ride in your stroller. That's how you should remember.
That's what I thought. We were both playing in the sandbox together. So, you were 8, I think, at the time. But wow, yeah. I don't know, 40 years. I love seeing classics, and you are the epitome of class act and classics. So,
and so are you, John. So are you. Do you remember the S&P pit? There were 7 people in it when it first started trading on April 16th of 1982. They had to drag people from other pits to try to get a few trades in, and for a whole 6-7 months.
15 minutes a day were the buttons. You remember that one?
Yeah, that's right. That's really.
They used to have little buttons, and they couldn't get people to trade the S&P, so they were just telling people to come out of the cattle pit. Come out of the pork belly pit and try your hand and your luck at trading S&P.
Yeah, there was nobody in there. It was trading. I remember because I went and at the time it was 103, and of course the handle was $500. Each point was $500. Yeah. Anyway, tell us.
So now it's $50, but a point. Then they got the micros, so they had to reduce it. So anyway, boy, those were the days. You tell these stories and people just, or you're at a restaurant and I do a flash of a hand signal. Like the check, and, I'm out. And they're like, look at you like, what is that? And I go, floor trading language. They go, what's that? Like a worthless skill.
Yeah. This was sell and this was buy. I remember that. If fingers in was buy and fingers out was a sell. John, we're looking at advanced micro devices. Tell us what you're looking at here, my friend.
Well, AMD, what I was looking at is I had some interesting setup there that the relative strength, that's the bottom barrel, the bottom of the quadrant. That's what that momentum chart looks like, 4 different colors. The volume on the little rally was weaker than the prior swing, and I was looking for a market to kind of pull in. And what I'm looking for was a move down to around 140, which coincidentally, earnings came out. It wasn't a bad earnings report, but we're right at about that 140. I did not overlay the pivot numbers, the person's pivots there, but we are trading right now, earlier today, at around that 140. So if we get and I don't know if it'll be today with Jay Powell speaking, but, if we get a improvement, the downdraft, the gap lower today, and it's on at the end of day volume is reading is not bad, and the relative strength, and that's the bottom quadrant tool that we use for identifying a phase of a market. If that actually, with a weaker price, but the market, let's call it internals, volume, and relative condition of the price versus the S&P is not bad, I'm a fan of AMD down at around the 140 handle, which is about where we're at right now. So that's what that was trying to illustrate, what we were looking for.
Okay, now, John, in the middle you have the red and green. What are those overbought, oversold?
Okay, so at the top is the chart with moving average and person's pivot, PPS buy and sell signals. In the middle quadrant is a momentum volume indicator, and that's kind of like takes a price differential of volume on a percent basis change. So bottom line is if the market's got a really strong rally, we want to see really big, tall green candles. And we want to, or not candles, but green momentum bars. And this rally, if you notice that the peak when the market hit that near 230, you'll notice that the mountain or the histogram was not as strong as it was in the prior peak. That was what we would call a bearish divergence. So this level right in here, from a volume perspective, is showing that the rally leading into today was not a strong volume rally, and it probably had some relative weakness coming in. And that was the message that I wanted to give. I'm a fan of AMD. I think it's going to return to 140, and so down here, despite the earnings, I still think you've got a good upside at one point to re-challenge, and I don't know if it's going to be this summer and if it's going to be the exact high, but I think we have an opportunity to re-challenge at least some kind of a dead cat bounce, a rally. So I'm looking for maybe from 140 support area back up to around 180. I think there's easily, a 20% rally coming between now and July back in AMD.
Okay, let's take a look at the next one, which is, you talk about being a world beater. This is Amazon. Boy, this is a stock of stocks. This does no downtrend at all, does it?
So Amazon had this it's got a really quasi mixed picture. And this one I was going to think for earnings reactions, the volume, as you see the middle indicator, the momentum of the volume was red. It wasn't getting worse. The histogram reds were getting less worse, if that makes sense. And the relative strength, which is the bottom histogram tool, was still outperforming but it's hard to explain, I hope, on a radio show. But this is a tool that it's called a PMC, Person's Market Catcher. It's a relative strength tool, and it identifies 4 stages of a market. A market that if you're long and it's dark red, that's bad. If it's below the zero histogram, you can clearly see it. If you look on that Amazon chart back in late September, early October, where the histogram was red and the bars were making lower lows, right? That's showing that the market was in a weakening stage versus the S&P and was not a good buying opportunity. The next phase is improving, and that's when it goes into a fuchsia or magenta color. And then bright blue is when it's outperforming relative to the market. The dark blue means it's still relative to the S&P outperforming, but it's lagging a bit. So what we want to see bright blue, and we want to see the market get into a solid volume, and that means that there's positive momentum and positive relative strength to the market, and that's what a lot of traders want to chase, positive momentum. So for today, we pulled back and filled some gap, which I didn't think that was going to be, as you're really familiar with island tops and bottoms. I didn't really see Amazon as an island bottom. I thought they were going to come fill that gap, and that's exactly what we've done.
Well, it's really, really, really positive. I think how much time we got for our next. We got 1 minute and 15 seconds left for the next segment. So let's take a look at the chart of Softy. Boy, there's a stock that's had some bad news recently. But what do you see here?
Microsoft. I'm a big believer in Microsoft in this business cycle, but the momentum was weakening, and as you can see, it's been moving lower. That relative performance is down. I would say the old highs 380 is a short-term swing trade. 380 to 385. I don't know if we get back down to that level, and we should see at least one more retest of the highs. So a retest of the highs could be 410, 415, and I'm not that perfect. We'll have time, but I am looking for a recovery off these lows on this earnings cycle, and we were looking for these stocks to come down, which they did. Okay. So that's the positive.
Okay, we're going to be back, take a break here, and we're going to be talking about Apple next, folks, so stay with us.
Many trading newsletters attempt to focus on a narrow set of equities or commodities. While this works for some, it oftentimes misses many opportunities that possess huge gain potential. But how is an independent trader supposed to scan the entire market looking for these hidden opportunities? One simple answer: the opening call newsletter. Basil Chapman, developer of the Chapman Wave trading methodology, has been trading the markets for longer than most trading influencers have been alive. And over that time, he has honed his methodology in order to accurately call movements in a wide range of equities, from semiconductors to uranium to key indices and so much more. Basil is old school, taking the time to educate the trader while also giving his insights into key indices, selective stocks, and more. Opening Call subscribers also receive access to dozens of educational live streams that can be accessed at any time for your edification. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So ignore the pop trading influencers and start learning time-tested technical analysis.
The stock market is a delicate interconnecting web of commodities, equities, and trader psychology. When one string of the web is pulled, it has a ripple effect across the broader market. This is where opportunity lies. But how are you to gather all of this information into one cohesive model when you're already spending your energy looking for any possible trade opportunities? Luckily, you don't have to worry about that, as Tom O'Brien has brought all important market news to you in one single newsletter, Market Insights. Market Insights provides a daily overview of what's happening in the indexes, bonds, gold, and more. Follow along with Tom daily as he analyzes the components that affect the overall movement of the stock market, giving insight into how each one plays either a bullish or bearish role. Tom also analyzes specific equities that he believes has the potential to make huge returns, and his track record proves his analysis right. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So what are you waiting for? Don't let the market leave you in the dust.
For traders who crave risk, Direxion's daily leveraged and inverse ETFs provide opportunities to magnify short-term perspectives with up to 3 times a daily leverage, utilize bull and bear funds from both sides of the trade, and trade through rapidly changing markets. These are highly leveraged ETFs with daily resetting designed for short-term trading, not long-term investing. Whether you're a bull or a bear, you choose the Direxion. For up-to-date pricing and performance, go to Direxion.com. Investing in the funds involves significant risk and should only be utilized by investors who understand the impact of leverage and actively monitor their portfolio. They are not designed to track the underlying index or security for more than a day. Before investing, carefully consider a fund's investment objective, risk, charges, and expenses contained in the prospectus available at Direxion.com. Read carefully. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
This program is brought to you by Vista Gold, traded on the NYSE American and TSX under the symbol VGZ.
Okay, we're back with John Person, who's going to be talking to it about Mr. Appel, who's down by the well, the most popular stock in the world.
Well, you're down in Arizona, and I'm down in Florida. And no offense, I'm more of a water guy. So we got we're right near this other body of land called the Bahamas, which has got to be paradise on God's gift to Earth. So anyway, with that said, I think we both agree that Chicago and the winters back in the old days, we didn't need that stuff anymore. So thank God for computer internet trading. We don't need to be walking down in 40 below wind chill factor or like we did in the old days.
The winter of '83, still the worst blizzard they ever had. That was my second winter, and it was so bad at Lake Point Towers, John. The windows froze on the inside, and when they thawed, it ruined all the carpets. I'm sure you remember that, but
oh my God! I remember when we were throwing a Super Bowl party, and we in the building I lived at that time was 1120 North LaSalle. We had about 5 or 6 guys from the floor of the Merc, Pizzazz, his badge PZZA. We had. I don't remember her name. Oh, my Lord. But anyway, long and the short of it is we had the Super Bowl party. Nobody could come. Everyone's cars were frozen to the streets. So
it was bad.
Anyway, it's all good. Let's talk markets. What's next?
Apple.
I'm a fan of Apple, even though it's got some problems. The one thing that's held, and it's got earnings out tomorrow. And one of the things that Apple's got going for it, it does have improved relative strength in this whole sloshy mess that we've seen this week, and it's got improved volume trend. So the lows, they keep buying the lows until they take out that 165 level and take out, meaning a close below that on heavy volume. I think Apple's got some potential for the upside. Now, how much upside? Apple's got so many different variables to it. What their phone sales are in China, wearables, technology, AI, what they're doing, their developers conference that's coming out in June. I'm pretty much sure that they're not going to come out and say, hey, we sold a boatload of iPhones. I don't think they can say that, but they can certainly press the market with some positivity and forward guidance. And I think most of the negative stuff's taken out of Apple, and that's what this indications or these indicators are reflecting. The market's not going down relative to the market. So the PMC is bright blue. It's been outperforming here. And it looks like every time a subsequent dip we came, there's better volume trend. So I'm more thinking we are going up and at the very least see 178, 180 for whatever reason. And maybe it comes from the heels of Jay Powell being a little bit more softer tone than people expect today. So we'll find out in about, 15 minutes, right?
Well, he's already told me, but I'm not supposed to divulge any of that. So later on, you'll
Larry,
understand
you're
what he was
holding more
doing.
trade secrets. Larry used to do that. He used to do that all the time, folks.
No.
He would know. He got the emails from. At the time, it was Alan
There was no
Greenspan.
email back in those days, Bubba. Remember in 83, 86, there was no emails for sure. That didn't happen until the 90s. Hey, Johnny,
Okay,
we're going to have you on
story,
again. Want to have you on again soon. And remember, you used to do some stuff with the Dow Jones that was really, groundbreaking. Do you still do that?
Well, yeah, I think now that after 40 years, people know my stuff. So, we do a lot of broke down individual market analysis for the different indices. And so for the Dow, whether it's the Spider and some of the stuff is we broke down advanced decline work. And if I may leave everybody with this, it's an ironic day that we have the market down and so many stocks like getting just absolutely blistered to the downside. Like we got Starbucks, you would think that I'm number one customer there, off. But the small cap, a lot of people have been talking about small cap, and right now I can't predict what Jay Powell's going to do or how bad things will get, what he's going to say. But right now, the IWM, similar to the work that I do with the Dow, has 1,260 advancers versus 600 decliners, 2-to-1 advancers versus decliners today. So folks may want to pay closer attention to the breadth and the condition of the markets here in the Dow. 18 advancers versus 12 in the decliners on the Dow. So it's not as bad of a day on the surface or underneath the surface as it looks. But anyway, that's my 2 cents, Larry.
Hey, buddy, thanks for joining us. Tell Mary I said hello. We'll have you on again in a couple of weeks. Okay, pal?
I appreciate it, Larry. God bless, and everyone. You're always, as
John,
in great hands.
How can the folks reach you?
Well, we still have our portal website, which is personsplanet.com. There's all kinds of great information there about the indicators that we built and created that are on Schwab's Thinkorswim platform, as well as a lot of other platforms out there. So, and a lot of the indicators that I used in these charts that we have that I use every day in my trading as well as my managed funds.
Okay. Listen, thanks for joining us, buddy. We'll have you on again soon, okay?
Thanks, Larry. Be good. Be healthy and be wise, as always.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thanks.
Okay, folks. You bet. Thank John Person, folks. Person's planets. It's not astrology, folks. It just means stuff around the world is what it amounts to. Let's get over here and we will take a look here at what the markets are doing. Hopefully, you can see here we've hit the 382 now of the move down in the Dow Jones E-mini, as you can see from the last high we made here back on the 29th. We hit that right now. We could easily go way back up in here, maybe even up in here with Mr. what's his name, talking about some of the stuff that he's been talking about, okay? So let's take a quick look at the S&P here, because that's going to be the one that's going to be watching. Now, we've had a pretty big drop here, okay? Now, if we take the 382 of the whole move going way back here, you're going to see that that's going to take us up here to 50.78. That would be one heck of a run, wouldn't it, folks? That's only 20-some handles. It could easily do that. So far, we've been able to do very little. We took out the previous night's low, and it didn't go anywhere. That was last night, and all we've done today is around 20-some handles. So there's the number you want to be watching here. Is it 50.78? Okay, that's the main one that you want to be paying close attention to. And since we're doing that, let's take a look at the old NASDAQ, because they've beaten that up pretty good. And where are we here? What the old NASDAQ is right here, and we're going to bring it up right now. And we'll just get this up on a smaller time frame here. Let's just do it on a hourly here so we can see where we are. There's the big move we had down. See, the rally today in the NASDAQ has been pretty much non-existent, folks. It really has. Let's just clean this up here. And the 382 on the NASDAQ coming back, which is easy to make. That's only 200 and some handles. You could easily make it up into this area right about here. So those are the main ones that you want to be watching here today as we look at some of these markets unfold. Overall, it still looks like a bearish phenomenon, but the good man from Washington could come out with a record-breaking announcement. Who knows? We'll take a break, folks. 877-927-6648.
If you're looking for potential trading setups in the stock market, then Rocket Equities and Options Report is a newsletter you should try. Tommy O'Brien delivers options and equity trades when the markets present them, using a combination of fundamentals and technicals. Sign up for Rocket Equities and Options Report today with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to risk. For all the details and to start your subscription today, visit the front page of TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
In the world of trading, only a few names stand out like Larry Pesavento, a pro's pro with over 50 years of experience. Larry has seen it all. A former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member, Larry has authored 10 books and trained over 1,000 traders with his unmatched expertise. Introducing Fibonacci 24/7, Larry Pesavento's daily trading service that turns the complexity of markets into opportunities. Published every Sunday, receive a comprehensive report packed with detailed commentary, charts, and videos that illuminate the patterns shaping the markets, with updates throughout the week exclusively for subscribers. Whether through charts or videos, Larry's analysis is your roadmap to navigating the markets. You can sign up now at TFNN.com for just $97. And with all TFNN newsletters backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee, you have nothing to risk. For all the details, visit TFNN.com. You'll find Fibonacci 24/7 right under the newsletters tab.
The stock market is a delicate, interconnecting web of commodities, equities, and trader psychology. When one string of the web is pulled, it has a ripple effect across the broader market. This is where opportunity lies. But how are you to gather all of this information into one cohesive model when you're already spending your energy looking for any possible trade opportunities? Luckily, you don't have to worry about that, as Tom O'Brien has brought all important market news to you in one single newsletter, Market Insights. Market Insights provides a daily overview of what's happening in the indexes, bonds, gold, and more. Follow along with Tom daily as he analyzes the components that affect the overall movement of the stock market, giving insight into how each one plays either a bullish or bearish role. Tom also analyzes specific equities that he believes has the potential to make huge returns, and his track record proves his analysis right. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So what are you waiting for? Don't let the market leave you in the dust.
TFNN has launched the Tiger's Den. Hosted at Discord, TFNN has been educating traders for more than 20 years with live programming hosted by a variety of professional traders during market hours. The Tiger's Den, available to all tigers and tigresses for just $1 for the year. There's no catch or added costs when you join our community of traders. Sign up today and become a part of this educational community of traders. Just visit the front page of TFNN.com.
Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV.
Okay, folks, we're back, and we've got the Fed coming out here in just a few minutes. Remember to try to do some nice things for your friends and relatives and people that live around you, your neighbors, because it's not an easy gig out there for these folks. It's been kind of tough. Also, folks, remember tomorrow we're going to have Jeff Huge of Alpha Insights, and then on Friday we're going to have Stan Harley of the Harley Stock Market Letter. That's the two guests that will be coming up the rest of this week. And on Monday, we have Norm Winsky, and he'll be talking to us about some of the things that we have. And then on the 10th, we're going to be doing another week from this Friday. We'll be doing another live trading like we did on April the 12th, which was a fun day. Today would have been a really good day to do it because we had some really good swings early this morning. ABCD quality, that's what we look at. And so those are the main things that we're trying to pay close attention to here. Okay, so let's keep that in mind. One other thing, if those of you that have an interest in learning books, I have three cases of books that Jim Twentyman left me. I can't open them. I know what that's in it, but if you're interested in getting those books, there's about 20 books in each box. and they weigh about 25 pounds each, and they're all related to market stuff. I mean, and things that are related to mathematics and geometry and stuff like that. So if you have an interest in market studies and stuff like that, get in touch with me, and we'll make some arrangements to get them out to you. So that's what we're watching, folks. To live every day in an attitude of gratitude, and may God bless. And live every day in an attitude of gratitude. And I'll bet you I'm way ahead of them. I've got 45 seconds left. I'll sing a song about Sinatra. I don't know what else to say other than live fast, love hard, die young, and make a good-looking corpse. I don't know if you know that or not, but that is the motto of the Navy SEALs. It comes from a movie by The Knock on Any Door by John Derrick. See you on the flip side tomorrow, boys and girls. May God bless.